Hey everyone, and welcome back to my countdown to Halloween. Today is day 18, and so yesterday I did a video on Tobe Hooper, and I realized, as you guys have pointed out in the comments, I had completely forgotten to mention his made-for-TV adaptation of Salem's Lot, which is arguably probably one of the best made-for-TV horror films ever done. So not only did I want to mention that today, but I also decided, you know what, actually I'm going to switch things around and actually have today be about some made-for-TV horror films. So again, right out of the gate, I want to mention Salem's Lot again, which I do think is a fantastic adaptation of the Stephen King novel. Probably even one of Tobe Hooper's best films, because that film, even though it was made for television, it's very atmospheric and moody and so well done. Obviously, I know everyone talks about the scene, and rightfully so, obviously when the brother is outside the window. Definitely a super, super creepy moment. And of course, speaking of Stephen King adaptations, one of my favorites as well is also the adaptation of It that was done in 1990, I think it was, directed by Tommy Lee Wallace. And even though obviously there is a lot of the novel that is not in the miniseries, I still think the overall adaptation is really amazing because it captures, I think, a lot of the main points of the novel, and it's really, really creepy. And I really like, and one of the things I really enjoyed about the TV adaptations, which I kind of felt the feature film version fell off a little bit, was just how you were introduced to the adult versions early on. So when you actually got to the adult version of the story, you sort of knew what they were. Where for me, the film adaptation, because the adults didn't show up until the second film, it was just like, well, I kind of feel like I need to learn who these people are. It's just kind of a minor thing, but it's just something that I kind of felt the TV movie did actually really, really well. A couple other made-for-TV horror films too is actually Steven Spielberg's early film of Duel, which I think technically was his first feature film, and it was made for television. Sort of a precursor to Jaws, as it's about a guy who's being terrorized by this semi who's not even sure why. One that really definitely shows off sort of the early talent of a very young Steven Spielberg. One that I saw as a kid that actually freaked me out was Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. About a couple that moves into a house, and there are these sort of weird creatures that come out at night. They sort of live in the basement. Very, very creepy film. I remember watching it. I think caught it, it was on a Sunday afternoon or something like that. And it's like, it creeped me out enough. Let's see, another one, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, which I think is a fantastic made-for-TV film. About a guy who gets blamed for hurting a young girl even though he didn't, so he accidentally gets killed by these mob of guys who chase him down. And then he comes back for revenge as a scarecrow that he was hiding in actually when they found him. Very, very well done film. And I definitely can't do this list without mentioning Trilogy of Terror, which still has probably one of the best stories maybe ever done for television. One of them. And then, of course, is the last story in the trilogy, which is the one with the Zuni doll. I know some people think the other two stories aren't that good. I think they're actually really good. I think Karen Black really does a fantastic job in all three stories. But again, the Zuni doll one is just classic on so many levels. And there's so many amazing made-for-TV horror films that have been done over the decades. I'm barely scratching the surface here. And there's a lot, too, that I'm looking forward to discovering. A couple of these, Vinegar Syndrome, for example, put out a box set of some TV movies that I'm looking forward to checking out. I ain't got the box set. I still need to check it out. But definitely wanted to mention some of these, which I absolutely love. Let me know some of your favorites, and you can definitely recommend some. Be back here tomorrow for my next one in my countdown to Halloween. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.